I got these fantastic. I got these ones. I just have to take that back so you can see it here. I'll transport the shoe over here. I got these fantastic shoes from Big W. I don't usually buy Big W shoes, but I was sort of entering this competition where you wouldn't need to wear high heels, and I was looking for a chunky heel, which is fairly tall, and which looks sort of more elegant than a boot, because I have a high-heeled boot, and so I found this. And it doesn't have a toe either. So I found this at Big W. It seems fairly sturdy, actually, because usually I'm scared of Big W shoes because so many of the heels break so easily. But I found this one, and it's quite sturdy. It's a really good fit for my foot. I've got a kind of a whitish foot. I went to Target before I went to Big W, and it had a similar kind of sandal kind of heel, but it was from a slimmer foot, and that one was like $35–40, depending on which design you got, but it didn't actually fit me. And so I went to Big W, right, and I took one look and I found these shoes, and I was like, oh, these are awesome. And I tried them on, and it was like perfect fit. And then I checked out the price, and it was on special for like $15 instead of like $30 or $40, however much the original price was. And I was like, $15. It's like exactly kind of the price that I was sort of looking for. The downside is, with these shoes, they don't have a cushioned sole. So with Myers and David Jones shoes, you often get like a cushioned sole when you buy a shoe, and you really notice the differences. This sole is like really hard. It has no cushioning, and so it's like hard as wood sort of thing. So you just walk in it, and if you have a sensitive foot, it just doesn't feel very cushioned. I mean, it's a tiny bit cushioned, and you can touch it with your thumb or finger and realize, oh yeah, it's a tiny bit cushioned, but it's not like cushioned enough. Whereas, the more expensive shoes are. So I was like, oh, this is why this, you could tell it's from a cheap store like Big W, because it's just not cushioned enough for your foot to make it comfortable. Other than that, it's a fantastic shoe, but I wouldn't wear it to be able to walk to and fro, because there's just hardly any real cushioning there. I need something cushioned because I have a fairly sensitive foot. If you have feet that are hard as nails, doesn't matter what shoes you wear, it's fine. You probably won't get blisters in this one. But I need the cushioned shoe, otherwise I'm very uncomfortable. So I wouldn't wear the shoe in particular to any place except maybe the movies. And that's only if I'm being driven there, not actually walking there, because it's not cushioned enough for me to walk in without my feet growing very sore. So that's a downside to this sort of shoe. But the upside is it's an awesome shoe. I didn't need it after all, so I'm glad I didn't have to spend very much money on it. But it's actually a pretty awesome shoe, especially for something like Big W, which I hardly ever shop at for shoes because they're not good enough. Whereas Myers and David Jones are the other places I go, but otherwise I buy the more cushioned stuff online. I used to have a pair of Diana Ferrari heels that were the best and most cushioned shoe that I've ever worn. I could run in them, I could walk for hours in them. My feet would never get sore, let alone tired. These ones, I'm standing in them for 5 minutes and my feet start to ache. So, but like I said, I have sensitive feet. I need the cushion soles, otherwise I'm feeling very uncomfortable. But for a bargain buy, that was just excellent, exactly what I needed at the time. even though I didn't end up using them, but at the time I sort of needed something like that, and that was sort of what I was looking for. It only cost me $15, didn't put me too much out of pocket, and now I have them, so whenever I want to use them for any particular reason, I can. So yeah, so they're awesome, just not good for walking, and I'm really glad I found them.